Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech, and I'm here again, guys. I know I just saw you a few hours ago. Well, I'm here again with my continuation and my initial thoughts right here of the Pocophone by Xiaomi. This is going to kind of stand as my initial review. I've been using the phone now for a couple of hours and just going to share my thoughts thus far with this phone right here. And, honestly, I can tell you guys right off the bat, it has been really incredible using this phone, even just for the few hours that I have been using it. I gotta say, like, it is another level of value we're talking about here. I mean, I've always admired Xiaomi and the phones and kind of just the value that they brought to their phones at every price point. But this thing really is just kind of, if you think about what you're getting here for the price, $300 US, a Snapdragon 845, this is what we can really now consider the flagship killer. And honestly, I love that phrase because OnePlus, you know that Xiaomi's coming for you with this phone. So quick kind of just overview, first of all, of the phone that I got right here. Let's look at the specs right here. So you see here, it's the Snapdragon 845. Obviously, I got the 6 GB of RAM, 64 gigs ROM storage version, and all the great things about this phone. We're going to go into them right now. But before we do that, let's kind of just jump into just a quick unboxing. I know I did a kind of one earlier, but just going to show you guys what is inside this Pocophone box here. So I do have the global version. You can see right there. There is the global version. And zoom in there. So now let's open this up. I'm going to show you guys what is in here. So I took it out already, but what is included in here is a actual case, and you can see it right here. Here's the case for the Pocophone. It's just a standard TPU case, kind of in this dark color, and that is not a problem at all. I actually don't mind that it's very simple. Here's just some literature, some standard kind of information. I love, though, can I say right now, Xiaomi, you killed it on the color scheme here with this release. This is just a really beautiful color scheme that they've used for the box and kind of the yellow and black contrast here. As you see here, I have the global version. So here's your USB-C cable right there. You can see it there. And let's kind of zoom in here on the charger. The charger is a European charger because this is a actual European version here, global version. But for your respective markets, you should be able to get a charger of whichever one is going to work best for your kind of power in your location. But this is going to be pretty standard unboxing there, and you see there's the SIM ejector tool at the bottom. So pretty standard, but I gotta say, honestly, just overall color scheme of the box is really awesome. So now we're just gonna go into kind of the typical initial kind of comparison, just initial thoughts that I have here of the phone. So talking about design, display, performance, and a little quick audio test, and then just a few quick camera shots that I'm going to go into. Obviously, this is the beginning of a very long series that I'm going to keep here with this phone. Stay tuned, guys, because I'm going to be doing amazing comparisons and other videos with this phone soon. So let's go right into it. First of all, talking about design of this phone, what can I say? So the first thing that when I heard about this phone and immediately dismissed it was that it was a plastic back. The first time I heard that, I was just like, nah, no go for me, no go. But the more I started looking into it and kind of just, reading about this phone, the more and more compelling it got. And the more I kind of saw images of it in press releases and everything, it just became more and more enticing. And I really just thought if they nail the plastic, if it feels more premium, I'll only find that out when I actually have it. But then they will have nailed it. And guess what, guys? They nailed it. This kind of plastic back here, it really doesn't feel plastic at all. In fact, the best way I can describe it reminds me of the finish on the Pixel 2 XL, the Panda version. So if you've ever held a Pixel 2 XL, it is an aluminum phone, but they put this kind of plastic covering, almost like a soft touch covering over it, and that's exactly what this feels like. It probably also likened it to the LG G6. Anyone who's used the LG V20, any of you guys have used that, that's what this back feels like. And you see it there in the lighting. it's a silver. They said it's graphite black, but honestly, in the lighting you see here, it's a silvery look, and I'm kind of glad because I've been getting a bit tired of just having black on black phones. That's why I've been getting the reds and the other kind of versions there. But this is silvery color. I do like it, and I will be curious to see how long and how well it kind of. Reacts to kind of scuffs and to just kind of daily use. But I really, at least for now, I'm really impressed with the design so far. And you can just kind of take a quick tour of the phone here. Volume rocker, power cables. And I don't know if you guys heard this story, but this phone was pretty much designed by kind of the way they thought about this. They went to Reddit to kind of get details from real power users and decide what is it that you want in a phone. And what were the main things they wanted? They wanted a good dual camera. They wanted great battery life. They wanted Snapdragon 845 latest processor. And this right here, they wanted USB-C powering it all. So you see here at this price point, you wouldn't expect any less USB-C with speakers and your microphone. You have your SIM tray on this side. And most importantly, people also valued that 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So that is still included in this phone right here. And honestly, design-wise, that was probably the thing that I was most nervous about. But now all my qualms are completely gone. They nailed a budget design with this phone. Talking about display, you see it there. I mean, this display is a cut above considering the price and for the value that you're getting. This is an LCD obviously, but it is a 6.18 inch display, and the display is bright. You can see it here. I'm gonna put it on max brightness there. It is very bright. I'm gonna have to test specifically how bright it gets, and I have to lower it here because of the camera. But just kind of looking at it compared to some other phones, I'd say so far it's looking really great. And even kind of the color temperature, the saturation, it is all really on point. The viewing angles you can see here, they're really great. Now, what does that mean for kind of viewing experience? Well, let's kind of look here at just a quick Frankie Tech video. And obviously, you guys saw it already there. There is a notch. There is a notch on this phone. But what does that mean for viewing? And I think I can zoom in on this. If not, that's kind of interesting. We'll have to look in on that. But I think right now, you should be able to zoom in on this. That's kind of strange. That's not working right now. But what I can say right now is that it does not eat into all the way to the edges there on this phone. And the viewing experience, I think, will be pretty good once I get that figured out there, why that is not kind of working at the moment. But I'm pretty sure that's just a setting here in settings. And as you can see here, the full screen gestures are in full use on this phone. So you can choose to have either your kind of your standard Android buttons, or you can have full screen gestures like in all the Xiaomi phones. And so far you can see that just because of the actual bezel-less nature of this phone, similar to the Mi 8, you can use those full screen gestures and they work really great overall. Now, talking about performance, this is really kind of the main deal with this phone, and it's all about the Snapdragon 845 right here. This is the best deal on a Snapdragon 845 you're going to get in the world. Like, there's no cheaper, there's no better priced phone that you will be able to get this year and maybe into the next year that will cost this little and provide you this much performance. And so this phone is really kind of like the Honor Play, going to be one that I'm going to be looking at performance specifically as it relates to gaming. But let's look at them right here. This is a real comparison that I'm going to be making, the Honor Play versus the Poco F1 here, especially as it relates to gaming. Snapdragon 845, Kirin 970. And now that we're kind of talking about comparison here, let's kind of compare the Poco next to some other phones here. And I'll talk a bit about the performance and how this stacks up. So here's the Honor Play. I got it for around $300, similar price, but Kirin 970, Snapdragon 845. This 845 wins. At least on paper, it wins. So that's one comparison right there. You can see them right there next to each other. Pretty similar size screens overall. So that's the Honor Play. Now looking at a slightly smaller phone here. Oh, actually, let's do the slightly bigger brother of this phone first. The Mi A2. And this is one that I'm definitely interested in comparing with Poco right here, because this, until today, was my pretty much favorite Xiaomi phone that I've used, at least in the past month. And there it is. There is the Mi A2, and you can see already, look at the bezels compared here. It is already smaller even at this size here, and obviously it's using that larger, using the notch to get a lot more phone inside of it. But comparing they're very similar size. So if you're curious about a comparison between those two, you can see it there though. Poco is definitely a bit thicker, but not by much. I want to say this is around 8 millimeters. This is 7.3. So the Mi A2 is a very sleek phone, and you see it there, size comparison. It is it's the Snapdragon 660 though, so you are in another level. This is high mid-range, and this is flagship processor. So that's the comparison there. And the last comparison I'm going to make, at least for now, one that you guys are probably going to be interested to see, is this bad boy right here. There is the Mi Max 3 next to the Poco F1. And you can clearly see it is still dwarfed. In fact, I see there the F1 fits completely in the screen of the Mi Max 3. But you know what? Like, this is a huge phone. It's not for everyone. It's definitely a niche phone in terms of size. And this Poco F1 is much more of a just every person phone, a much more manageable in the hand phone. But you see the size comparison there, just showing you. And this is a Snapdragon 636 right over here. So in terms of order here, you know, if we had to say kind of which are the kind of gaming champions here and which ones are going to try to stand a chance versus Poco over here, it's probably the Honor Play. It's going to be the Honor Note 10. Those are the ones that are going to go head to head with this Poco F1. But even those, I think it may be an unfair comparison, because this 845 Snapdragon with 6 GB of RAM, it's going to kill in the gaming. And that's not even including and talking about the liquid cooling aspects. That's going to be a whole nother thing that I can't wait to see, you know, how that kind of is implemented in gaming here. But now that we're here, let's kind of push these aside here. And I'm going to do it with the Honor Play, because I think that's going to be one to do it with. And that's going to be a kind of audio comparison here with the Honor Play. So let me do a quick download here of Spotify. I'll be right back. And then, all right, guys, so since it's going to take a bit too long to download Spotify and do all that, I want to get this video out to you guys. So we're going to just use some EDM here, royalty-free EDM I found on YouTube. So we're going to start with the Poco F1 here. Let's play this here at around 50%. And you can see it here. There's a speaker on this side. There is some treble coming out of this side here. Let's put it down here. Fast forward a little bit. Now we're going to play on the Honor Play. Right there. Let's go to 75% on the Honor Play. This is the Honor Play right here. And keep in mind, Honor Play has only a single bottom firing speaker here. So we're going to stop here, and now we go back. Let's do 75. 75 on the Poco F1. Now we go 100% on Honor Play. Now we go on 100%. Oh yeah. Woohoo. What's my verdict there? I gotta say the sound on the Honor Play sounds a bit more full, a bit more bassy. but this phone definitely gets louder. This phone, the Poco F1 gets louder. Now, I don't think that the speaker is as quality though on this phone as on the Honor Play, but it's a close battle there. But I tell you what, having the dual speakers on this is a major deal, because especially if you're playing games and you cup over this side here, that's going to make a major difference, that you have extra sound still coming out when you're playing games. So that may kind of sway in the Poco F1's favor right here. And now lastly, let's just do a quick camera test. Obviously, as you guys saw there, I have done some initial shots. I did some initial shots earlier, but that was with a very kind of different set of scenarios here. So I'm going to show you guys. And someone in the comments was asking, saying, "Oh, these were a little blown out." You know, I noticed they were kind of blown out. Well, I took these shots real quick there, guys, when I did that. So, you know, bear with me. But now we're kind of in a more controlled setting here. So we're going to include just introduce here Mr. Pinocchio right there. And we're going to do, let's see if we can do this now. We're going to take just a few shots of him right here at an angle. Let's see how we do. So starting with just a standard shot. And so you see the shutter there. It's pretty quick. There's the dual watermark there, Poco by F1. Looks pretty good to me. I mean, look at the sharpness there. That looks really nice. Now we're going to try to do, and this might be tricky with this guy, but we're going to try to do a portrait shot. Let's see if this works here. Give it our best shot here. Boom. And you see it there. And wow, I mean, the edge, look at the edge work there on the Poco F1. That is really, really nice. I mean, look at that. That is a lot better than I expected. I thought it was going to be all, you know, kind of all just poorly done. Look at that edge. That is not what I expected. This is a lot better than I expected. And the only phone I've seen, at least from Xiaomi so far this year, that has done this good on the edge than this phone has thus far is this phone right here, the Mi A2. And honestly, that is interesting. So I'm gonna just do something fun here. I'm gonna take the same shot with the Mi A2, see how it does here, and compare these two right off the bat. Might as well, since I have it right here. So you see there, the edge on the Mi A2 has been always just really, really stellar. But comparing the edge on the Poco F1 and just comparing the, wow, that is incredible. So you can see right there, there's some really good work going on there with the dual setup on the Poco F1. And it did really nicely there in that portrait shot. Obviously, I'll be having a full in-depth kind of camera review, especially as it relates probably to the Mi A2. I'm really curious to see how it compares to that, or the Mi Max 3. We'll see which phones I kind of put against each other in that camera review coming up later. But stay tuned for that one, guys. That one's going to be fun. That's it for now, guys. But, you know, my final kind of, initial impressions, initial verdict on this phone. Man, like, what a value for money. I mean, this is what true value for money is right here. And Poco and by Xiaomi here, Xiaomi have knocked it out of the park. I'm so glad I learned about this phone when I did. This is just incredible, the level of value that they're providing here. And I'm so happy to finally have this phone, because it really is just, it is a disruptor. This is what this phone is. It is a market disruptor, and it is here to kind of really shake things up. And I think given what Xiaomi's kind of their approach to phones has been, and given the amount of effort they're putting in marketing and kind of availability wise, this is going to be released in dozens of markets very soon. And so I think they may have found their answer to kind of entering the US market as well. And for all you US followers out there, guys, oh man, I'm telling you right now, Poco is here. Poco, 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 baby. And this thing, if it does hit US shores, is going to, it's going to cause a tidal wave, because, oh man, I really am the combination of just design, just overall build quality, dual camera, the liquid cooling, the 4,000 milliampere battery. Let's not forget that spec right there. And you see there, I just finished charging it up, but oh wow, this is gonna be something to behold, and just to see and follow any tech enthusiast to follow how this does in the market over the next couple months. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. If you like, this video, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content on my channel and are excited about, my Pocophone coverage, definitely subscribe to it and stay tuned, guys. I have some great videos coming up. I have some great stuff coming up for you guys on the Pocophone. And also let me know which kind of videos you'd want to see me do on this Pocophone. I have a few in mind that I want to focus on, but definitely hit me up in the comments there which videos you'd like to see specifically with this Pocophone right here. That's it for this video, guys, and I'll leave it with that by saying this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one.